Today we are going to begin weaving with yarn on a loom. This is a loom. It's made out of cardboard, and you'll notice there's a little shiny part in the middle. This is yarn. You can choose whatever color you'd like. And the first thing you need to do is attach that yarn to your loom. So we're going to use a piece of masking tape, and please attach it right to the middle to that shiny part. Now I'd like you to write your name on the tape, not the loom. Write your name and class code on the masking tape. Now we'll be taking that yarn and wrapping it around the loom. You're going to put it into the first notch and then down and around through the bottom first notch. This will become the warp. Warp are the long strands of our weaving. So keep wrapping around. Make sure you don't miss one of the notches. When you're done wrapping, go ahead and pull out some more yarn, about 3 arm lengths more, and then you can cut that off. So you should have it wrapped with extra. Now you're going to take this needle and we're going to put the very end of that extra yarn through the eye of the needle. That's the hole that you see at the top of the needle. So very carefully poke that through and pull it through to the other side just a little ways. And then to secure it, we're just going to tie a little knot. So start by making a loop, pulling the end of that loop down and around and through the hole, and then pull tight. Now you are ready to start weaving. You're going to take your needle and guide it under and then over, under, over, under, over, under. Make sure that you haven't missed any of the columns, and then feel free to pull the needle through. Now at the beginning you'll have a lot of yarn to pull through, so feel free to set down the needle and then pull the yarn through little by little and then guide it up to the top. Don't pull too hard though, we just want it laying gently across the top. This is called the weft, this back and forth across all of our horizontal lines. That's the weft. So now I'm going to go back through the other direction. This time I'm going to start by going over first. So if you'll notice, I went over, under, over, under, over, under. So kind of the opposite of what I did last time. And then I'm going to pull it through. If you do the same pattern, then it will just undo itself. So make sure that you really do the opposite. Push the yarn up once you're done, and then you can start your next row. If you run out of yarn, no need to panic. Just cut some more, and then you'll attach it to the previous yarn that you were already using. Just simply tie a knot to tie the two pieces together. You may want to Do a double or even triple knot to make sure it's really secure. And then go ahead and reattach your needle to the top of the new yarn. As soon as you have that tied on, you can keep going. Over, under, over, under, over, under. Back and forth, back and forth. When you are finished, or if we run out of time, here's how to take your weaving off of the loom. Go ahead and take off the needle, and then very carefully with your scissors, go ahead and cut off the bottom strands of yarn. Then you can go ahead and very gently pull the weaving off of the loom. No need to cut. You'll want to make sure that the strands on the top and bottom are long enough for you to be able to tie a knot. You may have to cut off that back piece that was attached with tape though, or you could just take off the tape. To ensure that your weaving doesn't become unraveled, you're going to take 2 pieces of yarn that are right next to each other and then tie them in a knot. I like to do it twice, so I like to double knot. And then put them to the side, take the next 2 strands, tie those together, cross it over, under, kind of like you're starting to tie a shoe. There we go, there's those 2, and then the last 2. Tie those together in a knot. And then you'll do the same thing to the other side. If you don't like the look of those long strands, feel free to give your weaving a haircut. You can cut off just a little bit, or you can cut a lot if you don't want that extra yarn showing. Just try not to cut too close to those knots. And there you have it, your finished weaving.